let's talk about how we got into the situation with the Terrence Howard podcast. Okay. We do a guided tour of science, and the guided tour is a huge danger to the public support of science. Let me explain. If you say, I went to France and I toured Versailles, I saw Versailles. Did you really see Versailles? Do you know how many rooms are in Versailles? Did you visit them all? What percentage of the grounds did you have access to? So my claim is that we're doing the same thing with science. And let me say how it relates to Terrence Howard's podcast. Terrence Howard went off the guided tour, and he found all sorts of rooms that experts know exist, but that the public is sort of misled into thinking aren't there. So I'll give you a very simple example. The periodic table. There is no the periodic table. And everybody who cares about periodic table stuff should know that there is no the periodic table. The physicist's favorite version of the periodic table is called I don't know whether it's Genet or Jeanette, because I've never heard it said even once in my presence, left step periodic table. But there are multiple periodic tables having to do with the complexity of electron orbitals. And when Terrence Howard tells you, I'm looking at the Walter Russell periodic table, and it's a
spiral.
Okay, well, you say spirals, right? But the issue is, let me tell you something else he's going to say. He's going to say, well, if there are vibrations in atoms, then there's also vibrations in music. And so everything that is an atomic vibration is also therefore a musical vibration. Milton Babbitt, I think, explored this at Princeton in the music department, and his student Stanley Jordan, who I met, he and I discussed that Stanley Jordan, who's a brilliant guitarist, was mining this for inspiration. What do the molecules sound like? So that's not crazy, right? So it's not fair. Wait. It's not fair to say, okay, well, this guy is just like loop-de-doo because he knows about a spiral periodic table, or he's comparing the sound of a vibration to something in atomic physics. Furthermore,
but Eric, you would never say that Stradivarius played an incredible cesium note. I mean, it only goes one way, and you never have it go the other way from woo to non-woo. It's always from non-woo to woo, and they borrow
from woo to non-woo. When Kekule saw a snake eating its tail and decided that was the inspiration for benzene, right? There are ways in which woo ends up as non-woo. So again, the thing is, you and I can also have a different perspective. You may say that there is no instance of woo becoming non-woo. I don't mind disagreeing, but I warn you, I know a lot of history. The thing that I'm going to say is that it pays not to brush off Terrence Howard's appearance with the back of our hands. And let me say where I was headed with this. The circle of fifths in music is not a circle. It's a spiral. And the reason for that is that you can't have both a perfect octave and a perfect Pythagorean fifth as part of an even-tempered scale. Number theoretically, it just can't work. And as a result, if you choose special numbers of notes, namely 12, 29, and 53, you can get a perfect octave and a nearly perfect third. Those special numbers cause that, nearly perfect fifth. Those special numbers have that property. Most people don't know that that's true. If they sit down at a piano, they see 12 notes on it. So what happens when Terrence, for example, figures out that lots of things are true that aren't well known? There is no the periodic table. There's a spiral one. There is no circle of fifths. There's a spiral one. And you can associate tones with vibrations and molecules with vibrations and frequencies. You take all of that and you push it together and you create this delicious amalgam where everything is connecting to everything. And this is part of the pleasures of the overly associative mind.